talking to Leah Beakley, who's with us from MIT. Welcome to New Zealand.
Thank you.
So, what have you been doing today?
So today, CoLab hosted a conference on creating new technologies and democratizing technology and making technology. So it's been a busy day with lots of talks by all sorts of interesting people.
Including yourself. And
yes, I did 2 talks.
That's great. So we've been seeing some really exciting stuff like squealing t-shirts and flashing cycling gear. Fun and useful, but also there's been some bigger picture implications.
Yeah, so I'm broadly interested in empowering people to build their own technology, and especially enabling people to build technology that looks and feels really different from what we traditionally think of technology as looking and feeling like. So technology beyond kind of hard black boxes.
Great, yeah, excellent. And your presentation sort of said about the gender balance, and introducing women and girls to technology.
So one of the really wonderful experiences I've had working with textiles and technology, so textiles and electronics and computation, has been that mix of materials appeals to young women much more than traditional technological artifacts and materials do. So I've been able to use this as a platform to engage young girls and women in computing and electrical engineering. So that's been really interesting.
That's great. So it sounds like it's a lot about taking down the barriers to people who might be afraid of making technology.
Yes, so it's partly about taking down barriers. It's also about opening up new expressive possibilities and new creative possibilities for people. So kind of tackling both of those challenges at the same time, really.
Excellent, yeah. And what can the business world learn from this? I mean, is this a threat to established manufacturers of goods, or?
I think eventually there are big looming kind of issues that traditional businesses are going to have to grapple with. So in particular, I think what we're going to increasingly see is a mass distribution of design and production and distribution. So it's increasingly possible for individuals to design, build, and sell physical goods, and the companies that kind of retool themselves to support people in doing that are going to thrive, and the companies that try to kind of prevent people from doing that and kind of prevent people from having access to technologies are going to have face trouble in the future.
Right, yeah. Okay, so there's opportunity definitely as well as danger.
Yeah, I think so.
Great stuff. And so is this sort of a return to the pre-industrial era where people were generally makers as well as consumers of goods?
I do really see that there are big facets of that movement that do kind of have a lot in common with the pre-industrial age. So we're moving. All of the 20th century was really towards this model of mass production and kind of mass consumption, and we're moving away from that again now and towards kind of distributed production and distributed consumption, and I think it's really exciting and interesting.
Excellent, that's great. And what last question, what's your hope for sort of the next generation who are, I saw in your presentation that whereas previous generations learned with paper and scissors, they're learning with microprocessors and wiring and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess my ideal vision of the future is that people use all of those materials and they're just all part of the same creative palette. So people work with fabrics and paper and computers and thread and wire, and it's all just, people think of those things kind of as really being kind of the same sort of stuff. So people are able to work as fluidly with electronics and computation as they do with paper and paint.
Excellent. Thank you very much for being on Ideologue TV.
Thank you.